I am Regina Rodriguez-Martin, and I wrote this piece when I heard the latest restrictions here in the city of Chicago. These take effect on Monday, November 16th, 2020. In Chicago, the word came on Thursday. As of Monday, 16 November, residents are advised to stay home except for work, school, and essential needs such as getting groceries or medical care. Chicago residents are also strongly advised to not have guests in their homes unless they are essential workers, such as home health care providers, cancel traditional Thanksgiving celebrations, and avoid travel. We're encouraged to celebrate the holidays only with people in our household, which I guess is fine for people who have others in their household whom they enjoy, but it's not fine for those of us who don't. There are plenty of households with people who are abusive or worse, or who simply have members who don't want to celebrate together. Advising us to celebrate only with those in our households is unrealistic and shows ignorance of the millions of households for which that is terrible advice. It's advice that feels particularly cruel to me. I live alone. I also have no family in the state, and I look forward all year to hosting my friends on Christmas Day. I don't believe Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot doesn't know that the number of American single households has increased since 1960, from 7 million to 36 million nationwide. I believe she and others spouting, "Celebrate only with people in your household," don't know how to address those of us who live alone. They don't have any advice for us who are sinking into deeper levels of loneliness than we've ever felt. They don't know what to say to us who feel so isolated, we have no idea how we're going to get through Christmas or the winter. I've been struggling with loneliness that blindsided me when I got through the spring all right, but came up against a feeling of raw abandonment when I wanted to spend my summer birthday with friends and could only get a few to spend 2 hours having cake with me, even if we stayed apart, even if we wore face coverings. I learned young not to rely on family for emotional support, and at age 22, I moved far away from my abusive mother. I chose to build my life in Chicago, where I have carefully been building a community of friends since 1993. My friends and neighbors fill my social calendar. They're the ones who give me all kinds of support. They're the ones who come over for conversation-filled potlucks, parties, and movie nights. I fill my one-bedroom apartment with people once or twice a month, and we eat, talk, laugh, watch shows, play games, and enjoy a strong community with each other. Those gatherings, plus time spent with friends every week, are how I feed my emotional needs. This is what supports me in my single woman, no kids life. This is what keeps my heart alive. Friends and neighbors have helped when I've spent time in the hospital and vice versa. I thought we'd figured out the perfect way to live without family. I thought I'd figured out the perfect way to live without family. I had my people, and we would get each other through old age, lovingly, safely, and with none of the abuse and abandonment I'd experienced in my blood ties. The hardest thing about the coronavirus is how it has caused my chosen family strategy to fail me. I don't blame my friends and neighbors for not wanting to come out and play like before. They're doing what they have to do to stay healthy. But my resentment and bitterness about SARS-CoV-2 includes the pain of watching most people retreat into the primal strategy of trusting only those to whom they are related genetically. Around the world, people have regressed to feeling safest with those who look like them, and it leaves people like me out in the very lonely cold. I also live with depression and anxiety, and one of the best ways to keep myself above the waters of bleak hopelessness is with the in-person, physical company of others. To be denied that at a time when the sun's rays are getting weaker and restrictions keep me from taking myself out to a solo meal or movie is to experience pain that often feels like it can't get sharper. And then Mayor Lori Lightfoot, along with Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, issued their advice to stay home, have no guests over, and celebrate November 26th only with those in our households. With those words, the amorphous hostility of the virus and the culture it has created crystallized into human cruelty. Neither Lightfoot nor Pritzker nor any official spouting this advice has acknowledged how much harder their stay-at-home orders are for people who need the company of others but live alone. Don't have any guests in our homes unless they're essential workers. We're all making sacrifices, and we have all suffered loss during this suck-rat year 2020. But those of us who live by ourselves, who count on holiday socializing to manage our isolation, and whose only socializing happens by having guests in our homes, are bearing a specific burden that deserves at least a few words of acknowledgement, if not comfort. How dare Chicago officials issue their restrictions as if those of us in single households don't exist? How dare they act like the area contains only multi-generational homes and Brady Bunch nuclear families where the mom, dad, and kids can make their own party? Their latest restrictions tell me that they don't want to think about single households or address us or acknowledge that we even exist. Their denial of how many single households they've told to celebrate only with those in your household is outrageous and enraging. As painful as it is to know that many of my friends will tuck in with their husbands and live-in partners and children while I grapple for someone willing to see me in person on Christmas Day, I am now also infuriated that millions of Americans are pretending that smaller celebrations will have to suffice. Don't give me no guests in the home and celebrate with those in your household unless you can at least give me a few words such as, I know this comes down particularly hard on those who live on their own, but we ask your cooperation knowing this is temporary. I mean, God damn it, give me some gesture, however small, that shows you have some compassion for those who have no household with which to celebrate anything. We can't control that virus, and we can't control other people, but Lori, JB, everyone else, you can control the words that come out of your mouth. Please show that you have a heart for everyone who's suffering through this, including solo dwellers who will watch Christmas commercials that show a holiday table with a mother, a father, and little children. We know the subtext is that such a dinner leaves out the other family who traditionally gather, but what it feels like is that most households have enough members to make their own party. Keep in mind those of us who need to invite guests over or be an invited guest in order to not spend a day, especially a major holiday, alone. I am Regina Rodriguez-Martin. My blog is called Chicana on the Edge. You can read more of what I think and feel at reginachicana.com.